trash?
Well, how we can make compost out of trash.
Welcome, class of 2016, family and guests, and Director Riverall.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to attend our presentation. My name is Felipe Morfin.
And my name is Leslie Rodriguez. Welcome to our senior talk. Today we will be talking to you about our internship with Urban Life Ministries, Beets by Southeast. Now let's get to the dirt.
Well, not your typical dirt. It's compost, a rich, nutritious, fertilizing dirt. Our senior talk today will revolve around our work with compost, the benefits it brings, and its transformation from waste to soil. One of the reasons that I was intrigued with compost was that as a child, I was always playing in dirt. I'd pick at the grass just to touch the moist underlayer of dirt. My fingernails were always caked up with dirt. Yes, I was that kid. I loved dirt. And I still do. Compost was just another way to play with dirt as a teenager. With the help of our internships with Urban Life Ministries, we were able to learn about our food system, starting from the ground up. We learned everything from cultivation, harvesting, food distribution, processing, and food politics. But what kept on intriguing us the most was compost, and it kept on drawing our attention. Compost allowed us to help our community and, most importantly, play with dirt.
I agree. Beets by Southeast taught us many things about dirt. Knowing how we can grow our own food, how to waste less food, and how to help the environment is important because we live in a low-income community. In our case, it is a food swamp, which is an area that does not have easy access to healthy food. Therefore, equal opportunity for nutritious food is critical. Our journey began by trying to bring healthy organic produce to the community. When all that failed, we realized that we needed to approach our community in a different way. Once we became aware of the problem, we couldn't help but feel the need to do something about it.
As Leslie mentioned earlier, we had some troubles trying to figure out what we wanted to focus on. Our initial project was a farm stand in which we sold organic vegetables from Urban Life's garden. This, unfortunately, was not a success. The biggest issue we had was actually selling our vegetables. The reason was that people didn't really trust us with the food we were selling, or the vegetables that we sold weren't vegetables that they would eat on the daily. Through this project, we also learned that a lot of people live with the idea of fulfillment and disregard the nutritional content. With compost, we were able to help our community. Did you know that the average person throws about half of their food into our landfill? This is very important to know. When we throw away our food scraps into our landfills, they decompose, and as they decompose, they excrete liquid. This liquid combines with other toxic chemicals from other garbage like plastic and electronics. This then creates leachate. Leachate is a very big concept, so let's see a clip to learn more about it.
There is a lot of water in food, and when food scraps are put into the landfill, the water from the food combines with all the other items in the landfill to create a toxic sludge called leachate. Leachate can leak into groundwater and get into our rivers and lakes, harming the creatures that live there and dirtying the water that we drink or swim in. When we compost our food scraps, instead of sending them to the landfill, we reduce both the amount of methane and leachate created, but also we conserve space in our limited landfills.
Oh wow, well that puts it into perspective. Aside from the environmental effects, we realize that composting is not often a topic that comes up in your typical science class. Recycling is always the main point of discussion, but why not food recycling? It is eco-friendly and it is a safe way to make gardens flourish with beautiful veggies and healthy, flavorful fruits. A number of cities around the country already require food scrap recycling, including San Francisco and Seattle. But the idea has been slower to catch on in San Diego. These are exemplary cities that compost mountains of food waste. Everyone in San Francisco is required to properly separate out the recyclables, compostables, and trash. Everyone in San Francisco is required to properly separate out their recyclables, compostables, and trash. In San Diego, we are only required to recycle yard waste, but not food scraps. We as a country should change that.
We knew that we couldn't help this issue overnight, But with the help with our internship, we were able to educate younger peers about the benefits of composting and remove many pounds of compostable waste out of our landfills. Our impact may seem minor to many, but the knowledge that we gave these peers can be quite impactful for the long term. You see, it's the subtle difference of throwing away your food scraps into the garbage or composting that single apple core. Many of the garbage in our landfills will remain intact longer than we will, and by composting, we help aid these tremendous piles.
According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, 1 ton of high-grade compost can earn you as much as $100. That's literally making cash out of trash. Our vermicomposting bin encouraged us to go teach a 6th grade class about compost. And what better day to do it than on Earth Day? So on April 22nd, we visited Ms. D. Garcia's class and had a lot of fun with our fellow 6th graders. However, before the fun, Felipe and I were scared. We didn't expect the 6th graders to be interested in what we had to say. We even thought they might be a little disgusted with our worm bin. To our surprise, they were more than enthusiastic, and they gladly stuck their hands in the worm bin. We taught them about the 3 different kinds of compost, which are the holding bin method, the 3-bin system, and vermicomposting. We also taught them how they can do it at home and about its importance to the environment. The kids were enjoying the dirt just as much as Felipe did as a child. It was amazing to see them surrounding the worm bin.
And they definitely did contemplate the worm poop, but they learned some valuable knowledge. Would anyone want to experience the same? I'll take 2 volunteers.
Isabel and Ivan, please come up.
Now, before you go ahead and stick your hands in, I'd like to talk a little bit about our compost bin. This is all made out of recycled materials of old pallet wood. And we started off with base of scrap papers and coconut fiber as the bedding for the worms. Then we purchased very expensive worms. God, they were expensive. And we add about 1 pound to 2 pounds of vegetables because for every pound of worms, you can add 1 pound of vegetables or food scraps. We have here about 2,000 worms. That's approximately 2 pounds of worms. Now, go ahead and dig in.
So how does it feel, guys? How does it feel? The texture? Really nice. How does it smell, Ivan?
It smells pretty refreshing.
Would you mind having one at home?
No, not at all.
No, this is so cool.
All right.
Well, that's great. Here's a little gift that we made for you guys. Thank you.
Please give our brave volunteers a round of applause.
Those were some expensive worms. Let's hope they're edible. Yum. I know we've been said that we've done a lot, so let's see the proof.
Everybody say compost on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now, want to know a money-saving tip? Of course you do. Well, we learned that by growing your own food, you can help save tons of money. For example, tomatoes. An average tomato at a grocery store costs about $2 per pound. A gardener gets 10 or more pounds per tomatoes. That's about $200 worth of produce for merely 5 tomato plants, which can typically be purchased for less than $2 at any garden center. If growing by seeds, the savings are even better. A packet of seeds costs less than $2 and will have enough seeds to fulfill your needs for more than one season. Growing your own food can put a welcoming dent in your food budget and help lower your grocery bills.
Even a small garden plot can produce a significant amount of food. Knowing the benefits of growing my own food, I took gardening home, thanks to Urban Life. My family was fascinated with the things that started growing rapidly. They were fascinated, definitely very fascinated. My brother learned valuable lessons about living things and his own relationship to the environment. Not only did this help get him outside and become more active, but it introduced him to healthier habits by being involved in our garden.
Now, this is exactly what we wanted our impact to be, to have an effect on people like Leslie's brothers, and teach them about compost and the benefits of growing your own food. Interestingly though, people during lunch would offer me their food scraps because they knew my worms had to eat. Or even ask silly questions like if you can compost your own hair, which as a side note, you can. This brought joy to us. We knew that we had done our job right. We brought this conversation onto our campus, and we brought light to a topic that most never think about. And sharing this topic with our fellow 6th graders was an amazing experience. Seeing them dig in the pile and having a handful of worms just reminded us that the world's future is in their hands. Teaching them about recycling teaching them about compost is even better than recycling because it's just like recycling, but with food. It's food cycling.
And that food cycle is one of the reasons why I began to care. I would have never thought about where my food scraps ended up. It just never came to my mind. But after seeing the results, compost can definitely make a change. It is undeniable that just one person can make a difference.
Like Leslie, this experience allowed me to understand our community's problems and our contribution to our carbon footprint. This experience empowered me to make a change, even if that change was as small as not having a little handful of salad going to our landfills. If we don't take care of our dirt, then who will?
Looking back at the past months, we are better individuals because we take waste disposal and our produce very seriously. Throughout this experience, it opened my eyes and most certainly my caring heart.
Now, it would be a bit dramatic to say that dirt or compost changed my life, but it would also be a bit of an understatement to say that it had no effect on me. I am now more aware of our landfills, and I know that our trash doesn't just magically disappear into a truck. Compost was not just only about removing trash out of our landfills, but it was about removing us away from the dangers of the streets and bringing this sustainable niche into our community.
From the start, we attempted to recruit some high schoolers from GPA. Unfortunately, it was harder than expected. Nobody seemed interested. They were either too busy Friday afternoons or they just plain out thought our internship was strange and it didn't catch their attention. However, we were lucky enough to persuade Brian Talavera, one of our fellow juniors here at GPA. He joined us on our mission, volunteering his time and learning more about the organization. We hope that with our senior talk, some more people now become interested. As seniors, it saddens us that we have to abandon our food justice internship. We do not want our internship to stop running because we love it. And Beets by Southeast made us passionate enough to want to spread awareness about food justice, gardening, and compost.
As we get ready to head to UCSD, Leslie and I are confident in Brian that he will keep our legacy and continue our internship. We want our internship to flourish, and it would be very devastating to see all the hard work that Amanda At Amanda and Abigail, our internships coordinators, and everyone else associated with urban life that helped our project go to waste. Now, we want you to take this back home and do it for yourself. As you can see, we have provided small bags of compost and beet seeds in honor of our internship, Beets by Southeast. We want everyone to take this back home and compost yourselves. We're looking out there for future composters. Now, everyone deserves good food, and it all starts from the ground up.
Now, we ask you one last time to reconsider your choices. Next time you enjoy a meal at school or at home, think about it. It's not just trash you're throwing away, it's the Earth's future. Keep this motto in mind.
Don't throw your lunch away, plant it.
With that, we thank you. This concludes our senior talk.